Every championship, I'm sure, is unbelievably special, but when you think about maybe 50 years from now, people are talking about this one. What does it mean to you in that sense?
There's something very special about being the first to do something in life. And for us to be the first Walter Cup champions is something that is extremely special, that will be a part of this league's legacy forever. I've been a part of a lot of teams that have won and that haven't won, and for whatever reason, you remember the teams that win. And our coach had talked to us about that this morning, Coach Lee, when he said, I won the Calder Cup, was it 30 years ago? 30 years ago today, and one of his teammates reached out to him saying, good luck, and just the connection he has with that team that won it all. And I think when you end on top, it's just you never forget it. It's a feeling that you chase every day, whether you're in the weight room, you're on the ice. We've been chasing it all season. But the legacy of this trophy is only going to keep growing and growing and growing. But to be the first it's an honor, it's a privilege. It's extremely special. And it took an entire team effort to be champions from start to finish. You look at the way that we won. We were almost out, and as soon as we knew we weren't out, there were times we got down, but we were never out. And that group in there believed that we could be champions, and we never lost sight of that. We believed in each other. It didn't matter who was on the ice. We knew that person on the ice, that line on the ice, that goalie in the net was going to get the job done, and we did that.
Yeah, I would just add, it's always special to win any championship, any trophy, but to get to do it here and to get to do it with this person next to me is incredible, because we wouldn't be here without her, and she hates when I say it, but it's so true. And she's just a really special player, a really special person, and I'm so grateful to have gotten to experience this with you.
Lee, out of curiosity, after Game 4, obviously a devastating loss for the team, you guys saluted your fans, you were all at center ice, you addressed your teammates. Do you mind sharing what was said?
I honestly don't entirely remember, so mess me today.
I'm on the outside of the pile. I cannot hear over.
I think, again, just like, it sucks to think you won, and obviously that's hockey. It's called off and you have to figure it out, but we had a chance to figure it out. We had another game, it wasn't over. So I hope I said something like that, but I'm not positive.
And I mean, for yourself, Lee, you chose to step away from the national team and you come back and play in this professional league. So where does this rank in things that you've won and big games that you've played in?
It's impossible to rank things. When you get to win the last game of the year and hoist a trophy, you're just so grateful, because it's always a special group. And it has to be, to do something like this. It takes a team that's committed to each other, that believes in each other in the process. And like Kendall said, there were moments this year, unfortunately, especially at the end, where we were pretty down. And the way we were able to pull it together, I'm just really proud of this group. And again, wouldn't be possible without Kendall Coyne and her leadership.
And is it as heavy as they all say?
Yes.
It is heavy, but just to echo on Lee a little bit too, is I always believe winners win. They find ways to win. And when you look at Lee Stecklein's career, she's literally won everything that there is to win in women's hockey. You look at the minutes she played, you look at the leadership that she shows on and off the ice. She doesn't want me to talk about her, but it's an unsung hero, and I think if you ask anyone in that room, they would tell you that exactly. And I just think there's a lot of winners in that room that have won big moments, but Lee's done it all.
Congrats, you too.
Thank you.
You ladies done? We gotta go celebrate.
We gotta wrap it up. Time for two more. Time for two more.
Tony, you're supposed to be there too.
I got through. You know what I mean?
Visualization is so important in sports, and I have to imagine that a moment came last night before you fell asleep, where you imagined what this would be like if you won. Can you compare what you imagined to the actual experience that you're feeling right now?
I don't want to say I don't remember what I I just went to bed. I was tired. I had a 10-month-old baby on the plane. I was exhausted. No, I think, I think we all went to bed knowing this was it. This was Game 5. I think that gave us honestly peace because we've gone the distance in each series. We had a reverse sweep on Toronto. I think a lot of people counted us out in that moment, and then we move on to this moment. We come from Toronto right to Boston, and I think there was a lot of peace knowing that this was it. Like empty the tank. Not that we didn't empty the tank every game that we played, including the double overtime game. We were exhausted after that, but knowing that this was the last game, this was the last day of the season, this is the last day that this group will be together was something that I think we took peace and pride in and went out there and played like it.
One more. A moment came at the end of June last year when someone on the other side of the bargaining table said, okay, we have a deal, we have a CBA, we have a league. Tell me what you've imagined this season needed to be and how close it came.
Yeah, it's hard to put into words when you start with a blank sheet of paper. And you're envisioning all the things that women's hockey has deserved for so long. And you build out that sheet of paper over time, collaboration, conversation. Stan will tell you that it was the most collaborative bargaining table he's ever been a part of, and I know he's part of the Major League Baseball, so it's, they've had their fair share of negotiations, but I think what was so special about the conversation was we want the same goal. We want this to be successful, and them, and I hate saying them because we were all on the same, yes, there's two sides of a bargaining table, but we all wanted the same thing, and them asking what is it that you need? What is it that you want? And listening to them too, their experience in pro sport. You look at the other side of the table, Stan Kasten, Royce Cohen, Billie Jean, Alana, the list goes on and on and on. We're asking them, what do you think? And it's not because they want something less or more, we want what's right. And I think, it was, we got that piece of paper signed, but then to see it, to live it, and to experience in real time has been something that's been very special. And I can't say thank you enough to all the people, who are behind the scenes, who've made this possible. I don't think people realize the tireless days. It's 24/7 in this first year, and there were so many positives. There were so many things that we've learned that are only going to get better in year 2, in year 3 and beyond. But this league has, and all of their staff have worked around the clock for us to make this league as successful as it was in year 1. And you mentioned, June. We signed that document in July 1, and we dropped our first puck January 1. Can you name another professional sport league that starts in 6 months, and in the capacity and the magnitude and the professional standard in which we've done everything this year? I mean, it's remarkable, and credit goes to the league, Mark and Kimber Walter, and obviously the players who have battled their butts off all year long, all 6 teams. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question.
Wait, I'm gonna jump in there because she won't say this, but the only reason this happened from the player side is because of Kendall. Like, legit the only reason, and she hates it, but like, could not have been more fitting end for her to lift the trophy, for her to score the empty netter. It's that woman right there. And to do it with a growing family and amongst all these other things, like she still shows up and does her job every single day. She's a hockey player, but she has like 7 other jobs on top of that. The biggest one was creating this league for all of us other players that are playing.
Thank you, Kelly.
We gotta go party, guys.
Last question, I promise.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that your lap at the All-Star game led to all of this. Could you have imagined that night that it would lead you here to this moment?
Yeah, that was a big moment for the sport. And while it was a 14-second lap, that was essentially heard around the world. It was a moment that catapulted a conversation that was so long overdue. and that was, what is the reality of women's professional hockey? And what does that look like, and how do we change it, and how do we get there? And I believe that moment really catapulted the conversation and the efforts to get us where we are today.
Thank you.
Thank you both.